Hi, welcome to Under 10 Fitness. I'm Brittany Smith, your lady voice. And I'm Drew Smith, your male voice. Drew's behind the camera right now, making sure we are good going live. We are joined today with Suzanne Himka, our official dietitian for Under 10 Fitness. How are you?
Hello, we're doing good,
Good. So you're coming in today as a ball of energy like usual. We're going to talk about free radicals, antioxidants, and glutathione, which all come together in some fashion.
Yes.
So the first question that we have is, because this all takes place in the human cell.
Correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. So what happens in a normal human cell?
Yes. And the first thing I would like you to do is take this apple, if you can see it, and cut it in half. And we're going to observe what happens. So go ahead and cut this apple in half. During the course of this speech, we're going to see what happens to this apple is the same thing that happens inside of our body. So this is a process of oxidation. Same thing that might happen to your car when it rusts. So we're going to observe the beautiful, if Drew can cut it, this beautiful, see, it's nice and white right now. It's very, very clear. So over time, we're just going to leave it here, and we're going to see what happens to this apple. Okay. So first, we want to describe what happens inside of the cell. So you have basically 37 trillion cells, okay?
Give or take? 37 trillion?
Approximately 37 trillion cells in the normal, just an average human body, okay? It varies a little bit. You have 200 kinds of cells. So let's just pretend that we're going to look at a skin cell, because you have lung cells, you have intestinal cells, you have muscle cells. Those are all kinds of cells that your body would use. So let's just pretend this is a skin cell, okay? Okay. So inside your cell, you have a cell membrane, okay? And the job of the cell membrane is to be the gatekeeper. So the gatekeeper of the cell basically says who comes in and who comes out of the cell. So let's say we want to have something bad is going to come into your cells. So your gatekeeper stands there and it's like, you can't come in. I'm not letting you come into this cell. You need to stay out. You're a toxin or something like that. So that's its main job, is to protect your city, okay? So now your cell membrane is made up of lipids, okay? That's fat. Every cell has fat that lines the outside of your cell, okay? And that's its protective cushion. Now, also inside of your cell, you have things called mitochondria. So they look like a little hot dog with some mustard on it, okay? All right. So you have all these little hot dogs, per se. In your city, every city has to have a power plant, okay? Has to have a place where energy and lights and all that kind of stuff happens in the city. So that's called your mitochondria. So we call that the mighty mitochondria. That is where your body actually makes what's called ATP, which is the energy that your body needs to do anything, okay? It's all made right inside of that. It's your power plant, okay? Now, also inside of your cell, you have something called your Golgi Bodies. So the Golgi Bodies look like upside down pancakes, okay? Or a set of bananas, okay? They're called Golgi Bodies. And in your Golgi Bodies, they are like your Safeways or your grocery stores, and they will actually, when you call them up and you want to make a list and you want to have them delivered to your house, that's basically what this Golgi Body does. When your body needs protein or fat, it will package it up and send it to where their body needs it, okay? So that's this main function here. Now, also inside of your cell, you have something, all of these are called organelles. They're little tiny organs. And this is your city pool. So this is called your cytoplasm. And that cytoplasm is made up of a bunch of water, okay? So it's the pool. So this is the pool where everything's floating out. There's one big party going on, and all these things are floating around inside your party, okay?
It's a pool with hot dogs and pancakes.
Hot dogs and pancakes, yes, okay? So you have all these inside your body floating around. Now, also, you have something else floating around inside your body. It's called the Endoplasmic Reticulum. So nobody wants to say endoplasmic reticulum, so they call it the ER, Okay? So it kind of looks like a little airplane with a couple extra, like a lizard almost. Okay? So this is called your ER. Now what that does is it goes around and it helps take trash. It's like your garbage collector. Every city has a garbage collector, right? Or a mailman. And it's got to take these things. This is where all these things get transported on. It's like this little airplane inside your little city that takes everything to the cell that it needs to go to. So sometimes on these ERs, you're going to find these little dots called ribosomes. Now also, all around the city are ribosomes. These are all your fast food restaurants. They are the places that make the beef, okay? So you got ribosomes. They're your Chick-fil-A's, they're your McDonald's, they're your Arby's, okay? There's where the protein is made in your body, is on these ribosomes. So sometimes they'll ride along on here and take protein wherever it needs to go in your body, because your body needs protein, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Okay. So now we've got the restaurants, we've got the city pool, we've got the power plant, we've got the grocery stores. What else does every city have? They have cops. Yeah. So every city has a bunch of cops in their city. Okay? Those are called the lysosomes. Now, if you've ever watched cops, they're always like, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. They're always lying, right? So that's how they're giving some lies, okay? So you can remember they're lysosomes, right? So now, what does these guys do? So there's 3 things that these lysosomes do inside my cell. First thing they do, okay? I'm going to grab my handy-dandy little bat here. First thing they do is they go around and they get the bad guys. So they go around the city and they wipe out all of the invaders. So let's say the gatekeeper not doing its job, okay? So this toxin comes into the body. So the cops are right there like, bad guy had just invaded the city. And they just take after this guy and they beat it up until it dies. Okay, that's their job, is they're considered the white blood cells of your body. And they're going to help your immune system be good. And they'll start just eating it up. Now, if you remember the last time we talked, sugar coming into the body is toxin. So all cops love donuts, okay? So they go after that sugar and they start eating it. All these donuts, right? And they just get tired, so they can't do their job effectively. That's why sugar's so bad when it gets into your system, because all your lysosomes want to have a big Dunkin' Donut party. And they're just busy with that, and they're not catching the bad guy, okay? So one of their other jobs to do is every time in your cell, lots of times in your cell, things die, okay? So there's all these dead particles. Who likes these little flecks of stuff floating around in your pool, right? You got a pool cleaner, right? All these little tiny flecks and stuff. Oh, you're noticing how that's turning brown, right? This is what's happening inside of your body, okay? This browning of inside yourself, okay? Which we'll get to. So this other thing he does is he cleans up all the flecks and all the yucky stuff that gets around floating in the pool, because you don't like it when there's bugs and stuff in your pool, right? So the lysosomes go around, they go, and they suck up all the yucky stuff, and then they put it on the endoplasmic reticulum, takes it to the thing, and he says, okay, you can get rid of that. And it gets rid of it, okay? And it sloshes off into and when you go to the bathroom, okay? And then the other thing it does is it breaks down protein. So protein is this long chain, so they break it into smaller pieces so your body can use it. So obviously the cop is a good guy, okay? He's doing a good job inside your cell, okay? So now we also have, every city has moms, right? So the moms in the cell, they like to make mac and cheese. So these are like 2 pieces of rigatoni stuck together, okay?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, okay? So you got your rigatoni right here. Okay, these mommies, their job is to reproduce. So you know that every so often your skin has to reproduce, right?
Sure.
So you're always sloshing off skin, so that's why you have to change your bed sheets, because all these skin cells are sloshing off into your bed, right?
That's disgusting.
That is disgusting, okay? So that's
Thanks, Suzanne.
proving that you need to change your bed sheets. So, so here we got all of these centrioles. They're called centrioles. That's the technical name for them. So your body has to be able to reproduce new cells all the time. Otherwise, if you didn't, you'd die from smoking, you'd die from all the pollution, because you wouldn't be able to rehabilitate. So we definitely need a lot of centrioles inside the skin cell. We don't need as much ATP, like mitochondria, in your skin cell because it doesn't need as much energy as maybe your muscle cell might have. Okay, so a muscle cell would have more of these and less of something else. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Is this all making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So then inside your cell right here, every cell has a city hall. I mean, every city has a city hall, right? So this is called the nucleus of the cell. So this is where everything happens. This is where all decisions are made. Everything happens right outside this. This is where your DNA occurs, okay? So DNA kind of looks like that, and it has like these little lines in it. And sometimes these DNA nucleotide bases get damaged. And that's how a mutation occurs, and that's how we get cancer, when this DNA gets damaged, okay? So inside here, you also have what's called RNA, and it's the RNA in your body. The R stands for ribosome, okay? It makes a copy of this, and it takes this RNA as your messenger, and it takes that copy of the protein out, and it tells your ribosome to make that protein.
Oh, okay.
That comes from your brain. Your brain tells your DNA, I need this kind of protein. Hello, can you make a copy? Yep. So he makes a copy, takes it out, takes it to the ribosome makes a new copy, and you get the protein that your body needs.
But if that DNA,
and wonderfully made.
If that DNA is damaged, then does the RNA
make a copy of a bad gene, and therefore, when it makes a copy again and again and again of something that is damaged, what do you get? Cancer, right? So that's how cancer happens inside the cell. Okay. So now you have all these things going on inside the cell, which I think I have everything. Endoplasmic Reticulum. So there is your cell. Does that make sense? Right there. That's
I love it.
Healthy looking cell.
Yes.
Okay. So now, if this is a skin cell, all right, what will happen is a lot of times we go outside and we get exposed to the sun. Now, because we drive lots of cars and there's a lot of things destroying our ozone layer, these UV rays come and get into our skin, and they come into here and they bypass your skin and they go in through your skin. And what happens when these UV rays, this pollution, the chemicals that we use from lotions and deodorants and things like that, they come into our skin, and what they do is they disrupt what is called our oxygen in our cell. Every cell needs oxygen. Make sense? Because to make energy from the food you eat, you have to breathe. So we have to have oxygen. So there's a lot of oxygen and water in here, okay? So what it will do is it will take these little oxygen molecules that are in here, and it will bug it. So watch this. This is a little chemistry lesson from when you took it. Do you remember when there were in the cells there were positive and neutral things inside your cell, and then you had this system where there's two electrons, and do you remember all that?
Not really. Maybe a little bit.
So your protons and your neutrons and your your protons and your electrons have to be equal, okay? So this will make sense here in 1 second.
Okay.
These are my electrons. They need to be paired, okay? There has to be two in the middle row, but they need to be paired for them to be stable, okay? So that if this is an oxygen one, then there's 6. So let's say there's 2 over here. Well, that's why oxygen likes to pair up with another oxygen, because then they can share their electrons and they become stable, okay?
Okay.
So this is now stable, and they're happy, okay? Because they both have 8 in their outer shell. So 8 is enough, like that TV show, 8 is enough. It makes them happy, okay? When they are unpaired, when these electrons get unpaired, here's the UV ray comes in, and it causes some damage to these oxygen molecules. So what happens is it weakens this, so now it has an unpaired electron, okay? So this is called superoxide. This is the most meanest free radical in your body. That brings us to what is a free radical, okay?
Yes, what is a free radical?
So the main free radical in your body, and what it means when it's free, it means it's free because it's unpaired, and it's always trying to look around to get itself another electron. So here's this negative here means that this guy is supercharged. He's positive. He's like, oh man, I got to get another electron. I got to get another electron. I got to go around. So he's just like, he'll bump into whatever he wants inside the cell, and he starts jamming at it. So think about it. If he's jamming at your DNA, if he's jamming at something inside your cell, he's destroying your cell membrane, or he's destroying your DNA. And this is what happens if it starts jamming at my cell membrane. He bumps into one of these, and he robs their electron. So watch. If I rob this electron, this one dies. And so this one goes to this one and robs it. And this one goes to this one and robs it. And this one goes to this one and robs it. And pretty soon your cell membrane is damaged. That is called arterial sclerosis. Okay? Because the fat here on your cells are lining your arteries to your heart. So a heart cell. Okay? So think about think about this. So here's your blood vessel. So if it's ramming, which it does, so anytime you breathe in pollution, you put on chemicals on your body, you put on deodorant that has aluminum or something in it, it does this process of weakening the bonds in this oxygen and causes this to become a superoxide free radical. So they call this reactive oxygen species. So watch this. So if this is called ROS, reactive oxygen species, it means it's this oxygen is reactive. Means he's been ticked off. Okay?
That's my grandpa's name.
Sometimes this is good. So think about when a free radical would be good, because sometimes free radicals are good and sometimes free radicals are bad. So if Drew were running along and boom, he fell down and he twisted his ankle. Good in the sense that these free radicals will rush to that inflamed area where he's injured. They go to the site of injury. That's good because you want it to inflame, because then it swells up so you don't walk on it. So that's a good thing, right? So in a sense, free radicals can be good, but they're bad when they happen all the time. And when they're happening all the time because of sun, chemicals, things coming into our body, then they're damaging this all the time and they're getting out of control. So the superoxide is a bad guy because he's way out of control when we can't control him with, which I will talk about in a second, these antioxidants. So for all purposes, we are going to pretend that superoxide is the Joker. Okay?
And that is the Heath Ledger Joker, it looks like.
This is, I think, from Suicide Squad or something.
Oh, okay.
So here is the Joker, and this is what happens. When you are born, you have just a few of these, and they're very, very small, okay? But as we get older, our free radicals go up, okay? So
she has a big Joker now.
A big Joker, okay? So this is when you're young, you only have some free radicals happening, okay? But when you're older, you start making more free radicals. That's not cool, okay? So this is a bad situation as we're getting older because we're eating bad diets. All these things cause us to have these free radicals, okay? So this superoxide, this free radical, is not a good thing. So what do we have to combat some of these things that happen? Now, some other things that are free radicals, okay? So what will also happen is you'll get hydrogen peroxide. Y'all heard of hydrogen peroxide, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've used it to clean out my wounds.
Hydrogen peroxide isn't really a free radical, but it's a byproduct of when this gets metabolized, this gets made.
Okay.
Okay? So once we try to metabolize good old Joker, we make hydrogen peroxide. Okay? So if we get too much hydrogen peroxide inside of our bodies, you know what it's going to bleach out? My hair follicles.
Okay.
Therefore, what do you think is going to happen?
You're going to turn gray.
Yes. Okay? So that's good. That's a good conclusion. That's what's going to happen. So we don't really want this to happen. Okay? So this is a bad thing. So we have an antioxidant that will squish this thing. So then also one of the things that gets produced is the hydroxy free radical, which is oxygen and hydrogen. Okay? So when oxygen and hydrogen, these three are really bad guys. Okay? So now we have to have something to fight these guys off. So what happens is this is what happens. Inside our bodies begin to rust. Our bodies begin to decay. Our bodies begin to turn brown. So now you can understand why an age spot occurs. Because what will happen is, as the UV rays come in and they start to cause damage, they're going to start to destroy they're going to start to create more melanin, and so you're going to get age spots. That's happening inside your skin cells all the time. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's from the UV rays, okay? So now, since we've got all of these that are my free radicals, okay, now what are we going to have to fight them off, okay? So in that particular case, I've got three antioxidants that your body makes itself, and then some of them that your body you eat, okay? So we're going to get into now what happens with the antioxidants. So do you understand free radicals? You got any question about free radicals? Anybody?
Drew, you're good?
Makes sense?
Makes sense to me.
Be a good teacher.
Well, for me, and tell me if I'm off key here, but it seems like a free radical is either a negatively or a positively charged ion, and is basically just trying to find its mate, like a magnet.
Basically, it's trying to become stable. Because obviously, Suicide Squad here, Joker, he's not stable. Okay? He is not stable at all, and he's looking for ways to become stable. Okay? So he will destroy whatever he needs to rob something from somebody else to try to destroy it.
Right, because it's all about survival at that point. Yeah. That ion wants to survive.
And think about it. Radical means exhaustive. Okay? Mm-hmm. So he exhaustively runs around and anything that he can to try to find and get, just give me that electric, just give me it. Because once he can do that, then it will neutralize it and it's all good. And they only really live 1/10,000th of a second, free radicals. But we make, you know how many we make in our body?
Oh, billions probably.
So watch this. 13 times 10 to the 26th.
Makes sense to me. I know exactly what number that is.
26
zeros. 26 zeros.
What is that? Is there even a word for that?
It's like a septillion or something like that.
Nice.
It's a lot.
So is that per second, or is that
for
your lifetime?
Per day.
Per day. Okay.
Per day. This is how much your body makes.
13 septillion.
Okay? So one cell gets bombarded and hit 10,000 times a day.
That's a lot to take.
Yeah. But what can we do to stop that? That's kind of what I'm trying to get at is this is what causes the aging. So the big craze is, how can I stop this aging process? Because it's going to affect, well, Mr. Higgins knows, it affects your mobility. When it starts attacking your muscle cell, then it's going to affect your mobility.
Sure.
It affects your bone cells. It affects a lot of things, so we can't move as well. We can't breathe as well. We don't feel as good. It's ruining our arteries here. And so all this happens where these bombard your cell lining, and guess what? Now this heart vessel, this little blood vessel, do you think it's going to pump blood through here better? Okay.
Probably not.
No, because it's getting corroded, it's getting bombarded, it's getting injured, and you're having all this injury, so now it's not going to be able, it's becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, so guess what? Your heart has to work harder and harder to pump blood through that small vessel, so then you have a heart attack. Mm-hmm. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So now let's figure out, how am I going to combat against superoxide? How am I going to combat against hydrogen peroxide? And how am I going to get rid of this nasty hydroxyl? nasty, okay? So that brings me to glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and catalase. So let's address this guy first. Superoxide. So what kills him off? Okay? This is what kills him off. Behold, superoxide dismutase, SOD, okay? So the guy that does that, you need to see that better, SOD, is SOD, so superoxide dismutase. I mean, you can hear what that sounds like. Let's just mutate this thing. Let's just disintegrate it, okay? So that's what's going to happen with SOD. So for SOD, we have Superman. Superman is SOD, okay? So Superman's ability to knock down this guy, this is what he does. He comes in, saves the day, saves the city. You know, that's just what he does. So he comes in and he tries to knock out all of the superoxides. So when he does that, guess what happens? So So when he takes this superoxide, guess what it breaks down into? H2O2 and water. Okay?
Okay.
So, and so what will happen is when he breaks that down into this hydrogen peroxide and water, that's good because that's a stable molecule.
Yes.
Okay, water's good.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't so good. So that's when his friend comes in. Y'all heard of Catwoman?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Catwoman.
Catwoman, she has to help Superman. Okay, so Catwoman, in she comes because she didn't like no gray hair. Who likes gray hair? Nobody likes gray hair, right? So so now we're finding out that people who have greater amounts of catalase actually have less gray hair. So if we can boost catalase, we're going to decrease gray hair.
Interesting.
So here comes catalase. Catalase's job is to say, like, bleach, I'm not going blonde. Okay, she did not going blonde. So she might want some white teeth, but she does not want to go blonde, and she doesn't want gray hair, and she knows this stuff. So she takes that thing, and she eats that puppy up, and she makes sure that squeezes that bleach until it just turns into hydrogen and oxygen.
Okay. And those two seem great.
Yeah. So so you would conclude that we would want more Catwoman in our life, and we would want more Superman in our life, okay? Now, what is the #1 superhero with the biggest glutes and the biggest thighs?
I'm going to say the Hulk. Or Drew Smith. I think Drew wanted me to say Drew.
Incredible Hulk.
The Hulk.
The Hulk.
Sorry, Drew.
This is the Hulk. So, this is how I came up with this guy. It's because he's the #1 with the biggest glutes and thighs.
Glutathione.
Glutathione.
All right.
So that's how I came up with his name. And that's how I came up with his character. It's because that's his job. One of his jobs is to help get rid of this one, and it helps get rid of this one. So he does all of these. His job is to knock down this, so he's a big help. These guys are our defenders, okay? These are our defenders against these guys, okay? We don't really want hydrogen peroxide, and we don't really want superoxide in our bodies, and we don't want the nasty one, okay? We want these guys to get boosted, okay? So that brings us down to, how can I boost my SOD? How can I boost my Superman? And how can I boost my glutathione, okay? Mm-hmm. Because what is the function, okay? You want to understand, what is the function of glutathione, okay? Have you ever heard?
I've never even heard of glutathione.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing of the Incredible Hulk.
So tell us.
Okay, so let me give you this little illustration first. So what's happening here is in our bodies, we have a lot of glutathione when we're born and a little bit of free radical, okay? So this super, do I need to turn this or?
Oh, that's fine right there, yeah.
Good? Okay. So you have a little bit of the free radicals, okay? Because you're not really exposed to a lot of things when you're first born. And you have a lot of glutathione when you're first born. Mm-hmm. If somebody's born with low glutathione, the kid's being born with cancer problems.
Okay.
And that can happen if the mom doesn't eat well.
Okay.
So that can affect, when you're pregnant, this is a big thing. If they're not eating well, they're not going to be born with a lot of this. Okay? So this is what it looks like when you're born. Problem is, when we get to be my age, you're approaching 50s, then you're going to be like this. It's going to look like this. Okay?
A big Joker and a small Hulk.
Yeah, the big Joker and the small Hulk. Because now here's the things. Let me give you a list of all of the things that cause you to, and I'm going to show you these. These are all of the things right here that cause you to kill your Incredible Hulk. So here's some things that do it. Tylenol will kill glutathione. Somebody who eats a lot of acetaminophen will kill glutathione. Another thing, nail polish remover. People that use a lot of nail polish remover or do their nails a lot or work in a place like that where there's a lot of chemicals being breathed in, especially if you're cleaning, when you guys are doing cleaners, those cleaners will kill your glutathione. Okay. So,
and is it something specific in the fingernail polish?
Yes, acetone.
Acetone. Okay.
So that's the acetone there. Any solvents, any plant removers, all these things. So heavy metals. So anything, vaccines, things like mercury that they put in your teeth. Those things kill glutathione. So I'm going to show you all these things that kill it. So something like, here's something that will kill it.
You've also got tattoos on here, it looks like, as well.
Well, because they're chemicals that are going into your body.
Right.
Okay? So
Interesting.
tattoos, it's just like any type of skin, like your cheap lotions.
Mm-hmm.
Your $1 lotions at the dollar store. Those have a lot of chemicals that go into your body that will kill glutathione.
Okay.
Okay.
Same with your deodorant, too, right? They have aluminum in it?
Yes, that aluminum in it, because that's a heavy metal. Okay.
Heavy metal, not to be confused with the metals that we need, like iron and zinc.
Correct.
And music. Right?
Heavy metal.
And rock and roll is what she's talking about. Rock and roll. Okay.
I guess, yeah. And so something like a hot dog has a nitrates. Have you ever heard of nitrates?
Yes.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
nitrates kill my inner Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Okay. So anything like your bologna, your hot dog, your bacon, all those things have sodium nitrates in it. Now you can buy things like Oscar Mayer and they don't have nitrates in it. So those are the ones I choose because I know in my head it's not boosting my glutathione. Okay. So another thing, artificial sweeteners like aspartame. So the little blue packet kills my glutathione.
Okay.
So that is, and the little yellow packet kills my glutathione because that's Splenda. Okay. So I don't really want to kill my glutathione because the glutathione in my cells, it is the master. What he does is he stands guard inside my cell and he keeps people from hurting my DNA. He keeps the joker from damaging my DNA. He takes all of these toxins inside my body and he helps get them out of the cell. So he kind of helps out some of these lysosomes too, the cops, because he's a good guy. He's like, let me help you get rid of the bad stuff out of your body. So because glutathione is a tripeptide, it's made up of 3 proteins, it is a sulfur-containing one. So foods that contain sulfur, so things like garlic, onions, cabbage, those all will boost my glutathione because it's sticky. And sulfur is a stick. So think of the fly trap, the little fly trap that you hang that's yellow. Okay? That's what this guy does. He takes all of the toxins, and when they come to him, they're like, dead. Okay? So they kind of destroy some of those bad things that are inside of your body, and that's his job. And so here's some other things that will destroy him. The problem is we're taking in so much of this yuck stuff that he's shrinking. He can't keep up. He's like, I'm Hulk, but I can't do everything. You know?
He's not absolutely invincible.
Right, he's not. He can get destroyed by some of these evil villains. Okay, so and that's a bad thing because we don't want him to get destroyed inside because our body, it's made in every single cell of our body. Look at all the things that glutathione does. So here's some of the things it does. It is the master antioxidant in every cell. So he is the ruler of these guys. These guys are all helpful. SOD, these guys. He helps all of these guys work together synergistically to try to kill the Joker.
Okay.
Okay? So he's the master antioxidant. He's the master anti-inflammatory. So inflammation is bad in the sense that this is inflammation. This is inflammation. So he helps this not happen. So he's going to help make your heart stronger. He's going to help make your cell stronger. And he's not going to let this happen, this chain reaction, whereas this one right here, this O is right here, and it gets released every time one of these dies. And it just sends this whole chain reaction down here, and then boom, cell dies, cell dies, cell dies. Too many cells dying, bad. You mean you got a lot of cells, but too many cells dying, not good. So if my cells die in my brain, if I start attacking my brain, I'm going to get Alzheimer's. If it starts attacking my eye cells, I'm going to get cataracts. If it starts attacking my lungs, I'm going to get pulmonary problem. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it depends on the area that it starts attacking. So for a woman, if it attacks your chest, you're going to get breast cancer. So think of the logics inside of that. So you really need this guy.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah. And it's the new buzzword in nutrition. People don't know about it, but what we're finding is This is the ticket to anti-aging.
Glutathione.
Glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and catalase are the tickets right here to make you look younger longer.
So what are some foods?
Yep. So some of the foods, and again, he's the master protector of your DNA.
Okay.
So like I said, he stands right here and he protects your DNA, and he's the first line of defense against any toxin that comes in your body, alcohol, anything
Okay.
that comes into your body, sugar, okay? But sugar kills this glutathione. So that brings me to, what foods could I eat to boost my glutathione?
Yes.
So here's a list. Now, the way I have arranged this is anything that is green is going to be high in glutathione.
Okay.
So these are all good foods, high in glutathione. Notice there's a lot of green things here, but notice also that the Hulk is green.
The Hulk is green, so eat
So
Hulk
when you
foods.
think of increasing your inner Incredible Hulk, think of increasing your greens.
Nice.
Because they are the highest content of glutathione in your body to be able to produce it. Because your body produces it, okay? So you want it to activate the glutathione to be released inside your body.
So even if your glutathione is being diminished, you can reboost it? You can rebuild it?
You can, except for the problem is we're at a stage in our life, in a stage in the era of our world where it is very difficult to get it boosted simply by food alone.
Okay.
So I would have to eat 325 oranges. I'd have to drink 87 glasses of wine. I would have to eat 120 tablets of vitamin C to try to do the job of what glutathione can do. So what we want to do is try to get our body to make its own more glutathione.
Sure.
So, and that will bring me to the NRF2 pathway, which I'll talk about in a second.
Okay.
Okay. So here are the foods that will help you at least if you have zero money and you can't do any kind of supplementation on it. And I'll talk about kind of supplementation. You can't take a glutathione pill, okay? Because it would be like trying to eat glutathione. It's too big. It's a protein.
Okay.
So it gets in your stomach, and then it gets disintegrated in the stomach before it ever gets to your body. So people like Suzanne Summers, she goes every week, and she goes in and she gets a glutathione injection. The best way to get it. But it costs $900 a week, $3,600 a month.
Jeez.
So glutathione injection's great, because that's the easiest way to get it into your body. But even better way is to get your body to make its own glutathione.
Cool.
And there's some tricks to do that by opening up the NRF2 pathway. But first line of defense, first try, eat more of these because it's going to boost your okay?
And so if you could just give us a rundown of some of the greens that are on this list.
Yes. So name me any green. Tell me your favorite green.
Spinach.
Spinach is
You
on
eat
there.
a lot of spinach.
Avocados.
Spinach, avocados, boost glutathione. Give me another one.
Green apples.
Green apples will help.
Kale.
All right.
Carrots?
Kale.
Kale is one of the top ones.
Gross. You don't like
It's not
kale.
my favorite. But what about celery?
Celery?
It's kind of green.
It's green. It's green. It's not the top ones, but the top ones are asparagus consumption.
Okay.
So its ability to absorb free radicals. All fruits have one of these. So maybe a tomato might be a score of 60.
Okay.
Maybe a blueberry might have a score of 2,000.
Oh, wow.
So different ones have different ORAC scores, and you can Google that and you can look up what are the highest.
Okay.
Now, the two highest ORAC scores are this berry. Have you heard of it?
Acai.
Acai.
Yes, I knew where you were going
Okay,
with that.
acai. And now don't go crazy here.
Chocolate.
Unprocessed chocolate. So 70% or more have the highest ORAC score for antioxidants.
Okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
So these two, that's why they have chocolate-covered acai berries. That's why they do that.
That's what we're getting today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's exciting, but at the same time, chocolate that's unprocessed in its raw
yeah, it's
form
so
is gross.
It's
Well,
to
it's
tell you the truth,
relatively,
yes, that's true.
relatively gross.
It is
right?
gross. So you most chocolate is laden with sugar, and it's usually
Yes.
40 to 50%.
Yeah.
So it's not going to give you the same benefits as dark. That's why they say dark chocolate is good for you, okay? Because it does have a nice ORAC score, okay? So that brings me back to these guys. Every time these guys encounter a free radical, okay? So every time vitamin C or vitamin A encounter a free radical, they fight it 1-to-1. So this one vitamin C or this one vitamin A fights one free radical.
Okay.
So if it has an ORIC score of 60, then it goes 60 of these will kill 60 of these.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or if it has 1,000 of these, it'll kill 1,000 of these. Okay. Same with vitamin E. So ORIC score, it can take this, but the minute that it kills this guy, okay, the minute that it kills it, she dies.
Okay.
They cancel each other out.
Cancel it, she dies. But what glutathione will come and do is he comes and gently picks up the girl, gives her mouth to mouth,
Aww.
and revitalizes vitamin E, vitamin C, and vitamin A.
The Hulk isn't such a bad guy after
Not
all.
a bad guy. Yeah. He helps out. He will revitalize Captain America. He will revitalize Elastigirl because she's incredible. Okay? So that's what he does. He goes around and he helps get vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin E, and it revitalizes it. But guess what? If you don't have enough of this, you're only as good as much of the vitamin C that you take.
Sure.
And if you take too much, you're going to get diarrhea.
Yes. Yes, you will.
Yes.
Now, is
I
there
know
a
that.
difference between the quality of vitamin C? Because I'm sure there's tons of supplements out there. Is there a difference between?
It's always better to eat the fruit than
Sure.
the supplement.
And I hear French fries have a lot of vitamin C in there.
French fries, yes, I told you that.
Oh.
French fries is how most teenagers get their vitamin C. It's unfortunate because it does give some. Potatoes have vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but unfortunately, that's the only way they get their vitamin C.
Potatoes and oranges seem to be the most popular. Are there other ones that don't get as much credit?
Yes, kiwi is very high in vitamin C, which is really good.
Yeah.
Pomegranate juice, so palm juice is really good in vitamin C. Watermelon, all your berries will boost this glutathione, this superoxide dismutase, and this catalase.
Cool.
So berries. So eat more berries. But what happens if you eat them and they're not organic? Then you get the pesticides, and then the pesticides kill the. It's like
It
catching-
cancels it
just
out
can't
almost.
win,
It's-
can you?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you almost. So like I'm saying is you almost have to anymore do something to boost this glutathione, and there's ways you can do it. Okay. So I'll go through the NRF2 pathway.
Okay.
Well,
But
that's
here we go.
and that goes back to what you said. That eating it might not be the most beneficial way. You got to get your body to make it.
Yes, but you still need to eat it. You can't eat this
You
and then
can't-
take a supplement. No, you want to eat this and try to do a NRF2 pathway activator supplement that's going to boost this. So, just because of the society that we live in. It's just where we're at. Because look at it. Look at all of the. Remember all of these things. Like, how do we get away from this? How do you not get away from cleaners?
Yeah,
you guys are
and
there every
we only
single
got
day,
about
right?
halfway down the list, and we'll have to create a post to this on the website
Yeah,
to
we
where
can
we can
post
put
this.
all of these because you didn't even get to smoking and some of the other
Barbecued
things that we're
foods.
doing. Yeah.
Kill glutathione.
Right.
Kill it. Grilling it till it's black. The blackened stuff kills the glutathione.
Because it has nitrates, right?
Because
Oh,
it
but
just
it tastes
makes
so
this
good.
smoked, anything that's smoked. And everybody loves to put their stuff in the smoker, but the smoked kills my glutathione. So that's
Yeah. So-
not good.
Just
All
living
right.
life in this society is
So
going
then
to
what-
be bad for
So
you.
then 10 foods, let me give you the top 10 cancer-causing foods, okay? Because these are going to kill glutathione, okay? So these are the top 10 cancer-causing foods. So microwave popcorn is number 1. Why? Because it has what's called perfluorooctanic acid, and it's in the lining of the bag.
Oh, okay.
And so what happens is this causes it causes this glutathione to kill this glutathione, okay? And it's cancer causing. We know it is. It's like a nitrate, okay? GMO foods. Have you heard of genetically modified foods? Which could be maybe our next session, genetically modified foods. Because anything that doesn't say non-GMO is GMO.
Got it.
So
Anything
corn.
that's
So
not
let's say
say
you
it.
have
Got it.
popcorn and it doesn't say non-GMO. It's got genetically modified. It has pesticides in it.
Right. So
Same thing
GMO
corn.
in the terms of able to grow with pesticides. Because there are GMOs that are still organic. Maybe they're just like a split cell or something.
Yeah.
but-
So when it's genetically modified, so let's say you want to make Brocco flour. Okay, they still genetically modify it, so they alter what it really is. So you have this green cauliflower, okay, and you've modified it into something else. You've morphed it. You've got like these kiwi strawberries and things like that. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's just morphing food into man-made food.
Correct.
Okay, and that will kill glutathione.
Okay.
It just does. And then UV rays, of course, from the sun, X-rays. So anytime you go to the dental X-rays, medical X-rays, do that.
Uh-huh.
And then any of your industrial pollutants. They all will destroy my glutathione. Guess what else destroys it? Caffeine. That's why I'm so...
Coffee, tea, anything
No,
good.
not green tea.
Not green tea. All
We're
right.
going to talk about green tea, but caffeine, yes. So caffeine in high doses. Green tea small. Okay. So stress. Stress kills my glutathione. Kills it.
Yeah, I feel like there's more to stress than we make a deal out of. I think stress kills people.
Yes.
But yeah.
It's exactly. So then your buildup of your infection, injury, illness, poor nutrition, radiation, aging, all of these drugs, any of the drugs that we take in, they kill my glutathione.
Okay.
So that's all that. Where was I going next?
We're going to talk about foods or how to make the NRF-way pathways.
Yes, the NRF2 pathway.
Yeah.
Understand. Okay.
NRF2 pathways.
Okay.
NRF2
So the first thing people think about when they think of a NRF pathway is your brain automatically goes to NRF gun. Right?
Yes, of course.
So, I've been trying to figure out ways to explain this. So, in my cell, I'm going to try to explain what happens in the NRF2 pathway. So, there's my cell, okay? So, here's what happens. I'm going to get, I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, it should be able to see that. Yeah.
So, here's my NRF2 activator, okay? This is my thing that you can take it in by eating these foods, eating certain foods, which I'm going to talk about certain ones that like turmeric, bacopa, ashwagandha, black pepper, those kinds of things can come in and they'll help this activate this, okay, in the cell. So this instigator, okay, this NRF2 instigator will come to the door of your cell, and there's this cell membrane. Let's call her Miss Kinase, okay? So Miss Kinase is kind. Think of Leave It to Beaver. Think of Miss Cleaver, okay? She comes to the door. She's super nice, right? And so here's these NRF2, and they're coming in, and they're like, here, this is what you need. I have my bullet. Like, you guys need these. You need this, okay? You need the NRF bullets for the gun. What good is a gun without bullets, right? It's no good.
It's really no good. You can hit it over the head with somebody.
So,
It's a paperweight.
So here in the cell, here's what happens. You have this, let's just say it's a teenager, okay? Let's call him Kenny. And it's really called Keep One. And
Okay.
It's just, this is like total chemistry. So somebody who's a chemistry would probably be like, you're crazy, okay? But this Keep One hangs on to this NRF2, and it doesn't get activated, okay? Unless something comes along to activate it to get released, okay? A lot of times it just kind of hangs on. So here's this Kenny Keep, okay? Kenny Kinase. He's keeping it. He's just keeping it next to it, and he's got this NRF gun, and he doesn't got any bullets, okay? So this team of professional NRF gun players come to the door, and Miss Kinase is like, I got the bullets. Hey, I got all the bullets. And so she comes over, and she comes to his room, and he's just sitting there, and he's got this, you know, and his little brother, he wants to use the gun, but he's like, I don't have any bullets. And so, because he's a teenager, he's got homework. So Miss Kinase comes over to Keep One, and she's like, I got the bullets. The Protanum team just came over, and this team came over, and they just like, oh man, you guys got to go to the city hall. You got to go to the city hall. There's a problem there. And so what's happening is this NRF2 is hanging on here. Well, she gives them the bullets. It's like she's Kinase is bringing him the bullet, and he's like, I got bullets now. He's like, but I got too much homework. So little guy, NRF2, junior NRF, okay? He goes over to City Hall because he hears that there's this big NRF gun war, and he wants to participate. So his brother drives him there because he can't go. He takes him in, and he gets inside the cell. He goes in City Hall. Now in your City Hall, which I told you about, you have 25,000 genes in your body. That's the human genes, okay? 25,000. So imagine all these people in the offices, 25,000 people in these offices here. Little NRF guy comes in, and he's like, where's the NRF gun war? And then he finds out that glutathione,
The Hulk.
Superman, and all these guys got locked up by the radicals. Got locked up by the Joker, okay?
Here, let me
They
grab
take
this
off.
gun
They
here
take
so
this
you can,
gun.
yeah.
So now, these guys have been trying so hard, but they've been overwhelmed by so many of this pollution, all this kind of stuff, that they're just dead. They've been bombarded. Imagine being bombarded by a birthday party of a ton of these little jokers running around rampant all over the place, and they're just ankle biting at you. And it's like, I'm tired. I'm done. I'm done with kids, right? And so you got all these free radicals running around. They almost destroy your glutathione, your SOD, your catalase, and they just kind of like give up because there's nothing boosting them. So you've got to activate this NRF2 pathway in your body in order to get these guys to revitalize, get these guys unlocked. And that's how it gets unlocked, is by this NRF2 little guy coming in and saying to all these genes, hello, anybody, we've got to let him free or we're all going to die here in the city, you know? So he's enthusiastic because he's a little kid and he's like, let's go, come on. So 500 of these official guys in their genes, okay, 500 survival genes get woke up. And they're like, dude, you're right. We need to go save the Hulk. So he activates 500 what are called survival genes. So what happens in this process is he's going to upregulate. He's going to turn on the switch to make your antioxidant enzymes, including glutathione, okay? He's going to upregulate your antifibrotic enzymes. So making fibrous. So something, anti means against.
Right.
You want to be against making fibrous things inside of your heart. Remember this little graph I made?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that to happen. So you want to try to get a lot of these things to take care of that, right? So that gets upregulated, and it increases your anti-inflammatory. So here's your anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is bad. It is the single most cause of disease is inflammation.
Right.
Inflammation.
That's free radicals.
Inflammation,
Mhm.
right? Okay?
Yes.
So we want these to get turned on,
Boosted.
and
yes.
we want the pro ones to get turned down.
Okay.
So the pro ones are the pro antioxidants, which we don't want those.
Okay.
We want those down. We don't want fibrous. We don't want inflammation. So we want those to get turned on. So this little NRF2 guy, this little buddy, comes in and just says he's a 6th grader, and he's like, we gotta free the Hulk. We gotta free the Hulk. So he comes in, and he upregulates these 500 people, and that's what happens. These 500 survival genes turn on all these things, and guess what? When that happens, this guy gets let loose. This guy gets let loose. This guy gets let loose, or gal. And so now, here's what happens. When that happens, your glutathione is boosted by 300% when the NRF2 gets activated. So now this guy grows to 300% of his size, and he fights off free radicals at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 per second.
Wow.
24/7. That's why glutathione is so important, because remember what I said? Vitamin C and vitamin E do 1 to 1. This guy does 1,000,000 to 1 every second, 24/7. So he's been now multiplied. Now he's the master defender. Now he can fight off all these free radical jokers like, right? He's coming at him and he's like, he can fight him off now because the NRF2 has allowed more of him to be created.
Okay.
By 300%.
Cool.
Okay? So NRF2 will also activate my little, NRF2 will also activate, NRF guy's good, right?
Yeah.
I never understood this until I started studying. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
This
helps
is
put it
new.
together. Now, unfortunately, we rented this room here, and so
sorry.
time's coming up, so we're
Okay.
going to have to kind of put a bow on it. But so if you could wrap it up and kind of put a bow on it and make it easy to understand. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting at. Yeah.
So basically what we want to try to do, we've got a healthy cell that gets destroyed by UV rays, pollution, eating food dyes, happens inside my body. So now I've got to take care of that. So by taking care of that, I'm going to give it, if I were to give that lemon juice, that would be vitamin C. Vitamin C would turn that thing white again, okay? Because it's an antioxidant.
That's why they say put vitamin or lemons in with your fruit. Yes.
It makes sense? Okay?
But then it tastes like lemons.
Yes.
Just saying.
So all of these free radicals need to be combated against. And to combat against them, I need my antioxidants. Superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione. All of these guys need to be boosted so that I can kill off these, because anytime you have too much of these and too little of those, you're going to get a disease.
Makes sense.
Yes?
Cool. Yeah.
Yes, and this is kind of the surface here, because I imagine there's more for you to get into, right?
Oh, I could. Yeah,
right.
we could
Yes.
talk
This
for
is a
hours.
very
That's
deep.
The glit.
This
that's
is
the glitz of it. That's basically what happens, and we want to try to find things. So you could do one of two things. You can eat more fruits and vegetables, which you need to, and then you could supplement something, a NRF2 activator. That's why I take Protandim, because that's what it does.
Okay.
That's why I do that. So this NRF2 activator, and there's lots on the market. You just got to be careful which ones you choose.
Okay.
But this is clean. And so maybe another time I'll tell you all of the things that activate that NRF2, which could get into too, which is all of those 5 guys, the turmeric, the bacopa, black pepper, all those kinds of stuff. Why those things activate this process, because I want to boost my glutathione by 30%. I want to boost my catalase by 47%, boost my SOD by 30%. Right?
So NRF2 pathways. It's
NRF2
all about
Yeah.
getting those activated. And
Yes.
Right, and also the one more that you mentioned was if you're rich enough, like Suzanne Summers, you can get an injection.
You can get an injection, but if you're not rich, you can take a supplement, which is what I do. That's how I do it. So.
Well, cool.
Well, thank you very much, Suzanne. I'm going to get over here. Brittany's going to put a bow on it here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you for coming
Hopefully
in.
that makes a little more sense.
We're gonna we're gonna edit this and then post it as a podcast, and we'll also make sure that the video stays up on Facebook, and we'll make sure to get your information that you've written down here and post it on our Facebook page. So again, thank you all for joining, viewing, listening, whatever you're doing, and make sure to follow Suzanne Himka. Where can they follow you at?
You can follow me at my name at Facebook, or you can follow me on www.suzannehimka.com.
And how do you spell your last name?
Himka.
All right. Well, Suzanne, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And on behalf of Under 10 Fitness, stay motivated.
And boost your inner Incredible Hulk.
Thanks.
Yep.